Hello and welcome to Easy English Learning, the podcast where we make learning English simple, fun, and effective. Today we're talking about something super exciting: how to learn English faster than ever before using the Easy English method. And guess what? You don't need textbooks, grammar rules, or boring vocabulary lists. Sounds too good to be true? Well, stick around, because I'm about to blow your mind. So, let me ask you this: how did you learn your native language? Did you sit in a classroom, memorize grammar rules, and take tests? Probably not, right? You just listened to people around you, picked up words, and slowly started speaking. That's exactly how you can learn English too. It's called language acquisition, and it's the fastest, most natural way to learn any language. This is the heart of the Easy English method. But here's the big question: what should you listen to or read? Can you just watch any random YouTube video or read any book? Well, not exactly. If you want the best results, the material you choose should be three things. Interesting. It should grab your attention. Compelling. It should make you want to keep listening or reading. Comprehensible. It should be just a little bit above your current level. This idea is called comprehensible input, and it comes from one of my favorite people in the world, Dr. Stephen Krashen. He's a language expert, and his research shows that this is the secret to learning any language quickly and effectively. And guess what? It's the foundation of the Easy English method. Now, you might be wondering, but what about speaking? Don't I need to practice speaking to get better? Here's the magic: you don't need to force yourself to speak. When you listen to or read comprehensible input, your subconscious mind is working hard behind the scenes. It's learning grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation without you even realizing it. And one day, you'll just start speaking automatically. It's like magic, but it's science. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're watching a TV show in English. At first, you might not understand everything, but if the story is interesting, you'll keep watching. Over time, you'll start recognizing words, phrases, and even sentence structures. And one day, you'll notice that you can understand more and more. That's your brain doing its job. So, what kind of material should you choose? Here are some ideas. If you're a beginner, try watching cartoons or kids' shows. They use simple language and are easy to follow. If you're intermediate, try YouTube vlogs, podcasts, like this one, or TV shows with subtitles. If you're advanced, try reading books, listening to audiobooks, or watching movies without subtitles. The key is to choose something you enjoy. If you love cooking, watch cooking shows in English. If you're into sports, listen to sports commentary. The more you enjoy it, the more you'll learn. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what about grammar? Shouldn't I study grammar rules? Here's my advice: ignore grammar rules. Yes, you heard me right. You don't need to memorize them. Your brain is amazing. It can figure out grammar naturally through listening and reading. And vocabulary? Don't waste your time memorizing lists. Just focus on listening and reading, and the words will stick in your mind automatically. That's the beauty of the Easy English method. Here's the best part: you don't need to wait years to see results. If you give yourself just 6 months of consistent listening and reading, you'll be amazed at how much you've improved. You'll start understanding more, and speaking will come naturally. Trust me, if you try the Easy English method, you'll come back and thank me later. So, what's the takeaway? 1. Listen and read as much as you can. 2. Choose material that's interesting, compelling, and just a little above your level. 3. Don't force yourself to speak or memorize grammar rules. 4. Be patient and trust the process. And remember, learning English doesn't have to be boring or stressful. It can be fun, exciting, and even relaxing. So, grab your headphones, find something you love, and start listening today. Thanks for tuning in to Easy English Learning. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on mastering English the easy way. And hey, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about your language learning journey. But wait, we're not done yet. In part 2, we're going to break down some of the harder vocabulary from this episode and explain them with examples. So, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next part. Welcome back to Easy English Learning. I'm so glad you're here for part 2 of this episode. Let's break down the key words and phrases from part 1 so you can fully understand and use them naturally. Pay close attention and try to repeat the examples out loud. Our first word is comprehensible, which means something that's easy to understand or makes sense. In part 1, we said, speaking head. The material you choose should be comprehensible. Not too easy, not too hard, but just right for your level. Another example, TV. If you watch a movie with subtitles, it becomes more comprehensible. Think of it like finding the perfect pair of shoes, not too tight, not too loose, but just right. That's how learning English should feel. Next, we have language acquisition, which is the process of learning a language naturally by listening and reading, not by memorizing rules. In part 1, we said, speaking head. Language acquisition happens naturally when you listen and read a lot. Another example, baby. Children's acquisition of their native language is amazing to watch. This is the core idea of the Easy English method. Babies don't sit down and study grammar rules, they learn by listening. And guess what? You can do the same. Subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the part of your brain that learns things without you even realizing it. In part 1, we said, speaking head. Your subconscious mind learns grammar rules even if you don't study them. Another example, musical notes. Sometimes, I wake up with a song in my head because my subconscious remembered it. Your subconscious mind is like a secret assistant. It works in the background, picking up patterns, vocabulary, and grammar just from exposure. That's why you don't need to force yourself to memorize. Just keep listening. Next is compelling, which means something is so interesting that you can't stop listening, reading, or watching. In part 1, we said, speaking head. The material you choose should be compelling. It should make you want to keep listening or reading. Another example, movie camera. The movie was so compelling that I watched it all in one sitting. When you're truly interested in something, learning becomes effortless. That's why you should always choose material that excites you. Hypothesis. A hypothesis is an idea or theory that needs to be tested. In part 1, we said, speaking head. Dr. Krashen's hypothesis is that language acquisition happens through comprehensible input. Another example, herb. Her hypothesis was that plants grow faster with music, so she tested it. It's like making an educated guess and then seeing if it works. And guess what? Many learners have proven that Krashen's hypothesis about language learning is true. Consistent. If you're consistent, it means you do something regularly without stopping. In part 1, we said, speaking head. If you practice English consistently, you'll see improvement. Another example, man lifting weights. He was consistent with his exercise routine and lost 10 kilos. Small actions every day lead to big results. Even just 15 minutes of listening a day can transform your English. Automatic. Our final word is automatic, which means something happens by itself, without effort. In part 1, we said, speaking head, with enough practice, speaking English will become automatic. When you use the Easy English method, you don't have to force speaking. It will happen naturally, just like walking or breathing. Now it's your turn. Try using these words in your own sentences. Say them out loud. Write them in the comments. To get the most out of this lesson, listen to it a few more times. The more you repeat, the more automatic your English will become. Until next time, keep listening, stay consistent, and trust your subconscious mind to do the work.